So the next section we're going to talk about is the multiviewer. So let's put it back in the monitor that I just took out. So we're going to go back to output 2, select this, go to multiviewer 1 and hit set. Okay, so now let's go back to the output menu, and this time we're going to select multiviewer right here. Now there are two independent multiviewer systems that are standard inside the MVS 3000 and 6500 series. We're going to concentrate on multiviewer 1 right now, but everything I'm talking about in multiviewer 1 can work in multiviewer 2. So what we've got here is we have a choice in this multiviewer called the split mode. We can either do a split 10, which is what you're seeing here. You've got 2 big boxes on the top and then 8 smaller boxes on the bottom. This might be really good for something like program and preview and then your sources on the bottom. We can also do a quad split by selecting split 4. I'm going to go back to split 10 since it's got more boxes, and that's what I use pretty much every day. Now let's take a look at some of the choices here in this menu. First of all, we have whether you want a border turned on between all of your boxes or not. Next, you have an all name display. That basically is saying whether you want the names on all of the boxes or not. Or using this table, I can go through and I can turn off the names on an individual box basis. Now the names are automatically set by the switcher by the crosspoint name or the output name. So when I labeled my sources XDCAM 1, 2, 3, and 4, notice the names automatically show up on the multiviewer that way. I can change the position of the names with the knobs up here. So I can come over here and change horizontal position. Now they all move together. You cannot set the position independently on a frame-by-frame basis. And I can change the vertical position as well. So I'm going to put this back where I had it over here and move it down just a tad. There we go. So now let's talk about assigning sources to these things. So we're going to come here and push the Source Output Assign button. Again, the menu should look very familiar by now. We have the source table on the right-hand side with the arrow pointing to the destination table on the left. So we see here that I've got window number 1 through 10. Here's window 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if we go to a split 4, you have window 1 and 2 in the same places, and then 3 and 4 on the bottom. So what can we put inside these? Down here on the lower right, you see Source Output Select. Now this is kind of grouped like it was in Output Select. So we have sources. These are going to be all the input sources to the switcher. So here's my XDCAM 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. And we scroll down this list, you see all the inputs that you can have on the switcher, the format converters, black, white, color background, frame memories, and all of the ME outputs. And I can also take what's already assigned to an output on the switcher. We did that a few minutes ago. We could take whatever's on the output spigot and also assign it to the multiviewer. So if I wanted to put program on here, I now have program 1 on the left, preview on the right, and all my sources. Now this might be really good for a single monitor solution when you might be in a fly pack or outdoors when space is very, very limited. Well, let's come back here and set maybe some of the things on the bottom. So on window number 7, let's go and find a source and let's put in frame memory 3. And then maybe on number 8, we'll put frame memory 4. And on 9, we'll put frame memory 5. And on 10, frame memory 6. So now we've taken 4 of the frame memories and put them in as sources. So here I've got program, edit preview, my source decks, and my frame memories that I might use for stills. There's one more thing we can set on the multiviewer, and that's tally. Now I would like to see red and maybe green tally on my multiviewer to help me see what's on the air and what's not. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the following menu, Panel. On the bottom, I'm going to select Operation. And then right here, I'm going to select Button Tally. Now there's a lot of choices here, but I'll make it really simple. When you're using a multiviewer tally, it has to be set to R1. So in this case, it's R2, so that's why you can look at this picture and I have no tallies right now. If I go set R1, it's going to say undecided, just like almost all the engineering setup functions. When you press it, it gives you a chance to get out of it before you change something. I'm going to hit execute, and what it's going to do is it's going to redefine the system to use the red 1 tally system. Now if you look at my multiviewer, even though it's not done, I've already got my red and green tally set up. So now, if I come over here to frame memory 3, which is on the air, I get a red light. Frame memory 4 is in preview. I want to dissolve. They now flip. I got red for both. And as I go between all of them, you can see a proper tally.